Please, David.
I grew up in Zurich in a religious Jewish family, and I was always very much interested in politics, and I started already to work in the radio stations with 14 or 15 years old. I worked already in the youth program from the radio, and for me the point of that I changed, that I wanted to go deeper, was 9/11.
Even with the Swiss mother, you have to know in the old times, and that makes me close also to David's family history. In the old times, when a Swiss woman married a foreigner, she lost her citizenship. That was until 73. So when we arrived, my mother was treated as a foreigner, and the rest also. So I can really tell that even though I had a Swiss mother, I grew up like a foreigner in this country, and that was also treated like that.
Did you keep any ties to Baghdad, to Iraq?
Of course. If you might have seen my last big documentary film 4 years ago. It was called Iraqi Odyssey, and there I'm telling the story that in my childhood in Switzerland I felt so lonely and so desperate, and also alienated in a way, even as a child, because I was refused from everybody. That the only, let's say, moment which enchanted me was when my Iraqi relatives came to visit us. So that was the highlights of my childhood. It's a paradox situation, you know, that we presented them the country which refused us in a way, you know. So when I got to know a lot of Jewish friends, it was not an accident, I would say, because you know, the kind of alienation and let's say distance between the so-called Swiss and the other Swiss like us made me close to them. In a way, I wish really that our colleagues would focus more, because Switzerland is internally a total cosmopolitan land, you know, and it's even a multicultural land by its constitution, you know. So it's funny to me that the Swiss are always going abroad.
Or to the mountains.
Or to the mountains. Yeah, that's true.
And I think because they look for an exotic element, an element that doesn't hurt. And if you do a movie about the Swiss society, everyone who is in the cinema, he can talk with you, and you are a bit, you can be
exposed.
hurt because you are exposed. And I remember that also in the film school, but I guess also later, that going abroad, bringing a story back from the rainforest from Brazil, for example, is of course, everybody's open. So it remembers me that when I choose, for example, to do something about Muslim converts now in this movie, they are somehow also kind of an enemy of the Swiss society, or they have a difficult stand. If I would have chosen somebody who converts to Buddhism or to Hare Krishna, everybody would be, you know, a bit relaxed in the cinema and would laugh about the jokes. And I remember my first. Why was it so difficult for my movie? Why took it so long? Because my protagonists, they're also telling jokes, but people didn't laugh because they were a bit reserved, because they were distant. So I think to close the thing, I think if you do a movie in Switzerland, everybody is more critical. So.